Can Modi's India be trusted? And will they fight with Israel in the Malhama? I like the question. I ended my lecture with a statement which I hope will provoke other scholars to continue where I left off. I said the fate which awaits Muslims in Hindu India appears to be the same fate which has befallen the Palestinian people, Muslims as well as Christians. This statement of mine should now be examined by other scholars and do the research to proceed further with the subject from where I have ended. Can you trust Israel's government when Israel is an oppressor? The answer is no. And you can see that Russia is now moving away from Israel. Russia is now distancing herself from Israel. When Israel was attacked on October the 7th last year, Narendra Modi then made a declaration publicly that we stand firmly in support of Israel. But when Israel then began the response, which was already pre-planned, and the world was seeing Israel as an oppressor, the Indian government then forced Narendra Modi to keep quiet. And India then began a balancing act. So yes, there is Narendra Modi who is vehemently pro-Israel, but he cannot say it publicly now. And so you can't trust him. What is likely to happen when the Malhama takes place? I'm happy I didn't have to deal with this subject in the lecture. I can deal with it now in the question and answer session. The lecture has built a foundation of a parallel that exists between Hinduism and Judaism, and a parallel, therefore, between India and Israel. This is the foundation of the lecture. But not all Jews are people who are oppressors, and not all Hindus. So this is not a lecture of bashing Hinduism, no. If Israel and India remain strategic allies of each other, and India has been pursuing the politics of expediency rather than integrity in its relations with Russia and with the West, then what is likely to happen at the time of the Great War? That is the question. And I believe that my answer is important for both Russia and China. My view is that the Great War cannot take place and will not take place until Israel chooses the time. The Mossad will know when the Great War is going to take place, because the Mossad is probably going to trigger off the Great War with a false flag act of terrorism, perhaps. Since Israel will have advanced knowledge of when the Great War will take place, Israel will therefore be able to plan to exploit the opportunity for their advantage. And I have long ago came to the conclusion that Pax Judaica cannot succeed Pax Americana. I hope you've read Jerusalem in the Quran. Put up your hands, let me see those who have read Jerusalem in the Quran. Oh, I'm disappointed. That is the most important book of all. Jerusalem in the Quran. It's at the back there. And you've not read it as yet. It was published 20-something years ago. That is the book which says that in Surah Al-Mursalat, when Allah spoke and He says, بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم انطلقوا إلى ظل ذي ثلاث شعب, proceed to a shadow comprised of 3 parts. And I said this is ayah mutashabiha. You know what is ayah mutashabiha. And therefore it has to be interpreted. But when we interpret the Quran, only Allah can confirm it's correct. So we say Allah knows best. And I have said the shadow is Al-Masih al-Dajjal. And his trademark is 3 parts. And my first application of the 3 parts was Pax Britannica, Pax Americana, and Pax Judaica. I was the first scholar to do that, and I still remain the only scholar. Nobody is prepared. No scholar is prepared to come and stand with me on that subject. I'm all alone. Never mind. Now I say, as I've said before, Pax Judaica is not possible so long as anyone in the world of Islam has nuclear weapons. So Israel has to ensure that both Pakistan and Iran are not nuclear powers. How will Pakistan be denuclearized? It cannot be done without Modi. It cannot be done without Modi. So the horrendous news I have to convey to Hindu India is that your Prime Minister and your government are likely to act in collusion with Israel to attempt to denuclearize Pakistan. And any attempt to denuclearize Pakistan is going to result in nuclear war in the subcontinent, with millions and millions dying. But Israel doesn't mind. If millions and millions have to die, Israel doesn't mind,